Hey guys, welcome back to another IT job coach video. Today I'm going to show you a cool tool that I've been using in a lot of my presentations, collaboration meetings, and getting away from that Zoom fatigue that everybody's been facing. I hope this is useful. I hope you learned something and this could be something that you can apply to your day-to-day activities.
First thing we're going to do is go to Google and search for Microsoft Whiteboard. It's the first Microsoft link, and you can see that you can download it for Windows or for iOS. That means you could run this on your iPad and work off it as well. I'm just going to open up a new whiteboard just to show you. Don't mind the background is going to be yellow since I've been playing with this quite a bit. But the first thing we're going to do is go down to the pencil menu. This allows me to just draw. One of the biggest complaints and why this has never been super useful is that my writing sucks. So a lot of people that don't know how to draw well don't like to use whiteboards. However, there's going to be a lot of tools, so please stick with me. I'm going to show you some cool tricks around this. First thing over here is if you click on the color, you get the color and you get to write with it. However, if you click again, you get an extra sub menu allowing you to choose the thickness of your pens and change the color. So you have a default bunch of colors for your pencils on the bottom, and you can change it to whatever you like. So here you go. You can see that I can't really draw very well. However, one of the problems is unless you have a tablet or something like that, you can't really write well with a mouse. The lasso tool allows you to select things and erase it. So anything you select, you can go ahead and erase. Over here, the pencil icon allows you to write in thinner or thicker, and you can choose all kinds of different pencils. A highlighter, also, you can choose the thickness, you can select your colors, and all kinds of other things. And there's a ruler tool, so if you put the ruler, it helps you draw a straight line. So there you go, I could draw a straight line anywhere on the ruler. If I click on the ruler, I could drag it and move it around. And if I use my wheel mouse, I could actually click. Eraser allows me to erase, and if I erase bigger, I can erase more. So the faster I move, the bigger the eraser head, and I can erase more. If I erase small, it's a very small eraser head. So as you can see with the ruler, all I have to do is click on it and use the mouse wheel, and I can rotate it up and down. This allows me to draw straight lines, as you can see over here. All I have to do is make sure that I'm following close to the ruler's edge, and it'll come out straight. With drawings, I can select certain parts and change the color of it as well. So in the settings menu, I can ink to shape and ink to table. This allows one of those cool tricks we talked about. So if your drawing is very bad, watch what happens. It actually changes it to a square, to a circle, triangle, and it actually recognizes a lot of different shapes. And once you finish drawing this becomes an object. So I can go back and select it and move it around once it becomes an actual object, and rotate it on all kinds of things. So this is the selection menu. It allows me to select my pens, text, and here I am adding some text, formatting it, and the rotation as well, whenever I like. This allows me to quickly have text included into my diagrams very clearly and not have to worry about messy handwriting or trying to draw it from a mouse. You can choose the colors and all kinds of things. I could change the color, I could do a thumbs up on it, and the thumbs up is really handy if you're collaborating. I'll talk more about collaboration later on. Here I am showing that if I actually hold the Windows Shift, I can actually move Shift and arrow to make it go bigger and smaller. I can use the Alt and arrows and use that to rotate the box as well. So there are three ways to erase everything. There's clicking on the eraser and then going into the extra menu. I'm going to Control Z. You can go into the menu and erase the canvas, Control Z. Or you can Control A, which is select all, and hit the delete. And I'm just going to Control Z out of that. Go back into the selection menu, and I'm going to choose images. Images, you could choose pictures from your laptop, or you could actually integrate into Bing search. So instead of drawing a laptop, I could just type laptop and drag it in. And basically all I have to do is draw arrows, and I can actually have a really good conversation with people just by using images. I can insert post-it notes and keep memos of things we discuss. I can insert as many as I want and put them all over the place and arrange them anywhere to make the meeting conversation carry on. The thumbs up allows me to collaborate and show people I agree with certain things. You could also include images from your camera. You can insert other things such as a list. So if you're having a meeting with a developer, you could type out things you want to follow up on, or if you're talking to customers or you're talking to your team and someone has items to follow up, you could track it over here and you could share this out with the rest of your team through an image afterwards. Using the mouse wheel, you see I zoomed out. I could put this away and zoom back in so I don't have to focus on it anymore. This is a very good way to put content out of sight so it doesn't distract you. As you can see, you can scroll to lots of empty space. The whiteboard is pretty huge, so you can actually go and do all kinds of things. And when you export, you can export the whole thing as a PNG file or an SVG graphic file. I chose the background as yellow, but you can actually have it as white and have dots and squares and lines and all kinds of things in the background to help you in your whiteboard. Sometimes you can have whiteboards prepared before the meeting begins and having icons put on the left. That way, all you have to do is draw arrows instead of drawing a user. All you have to do is zoom out, go back into the selection menu, use whatever objects you have on the side, go back in, and there you go. Instead of drawing your own users on laptops, you can actually just go Control-C, Control-V, and bring it from all the logos that you put on the side. And instead of drawing computers and all kinds of things on a whiteboard, which tend to be ugly, especially without an iPad or something like that to draw on, this allows you to really put in very good pictures and have great conversations with the client or users or team members. And with that, I can quickly create diagrams and have architecture discussions with the rest of my team. This is very handy, especially when you're trying to design certain things such as network connections and all kinds of things. And with the follow-up ready to go, you can send, we could make sure that any action items we have during our architecture discussions, like we have to patch, what kind of firewall rules to open, are all documented, and we can assign it to different people. Another thing we can have is we can insert pages from documents. You can insert PDFs, Word, all kinds of documents with the plus icon. Because this is Microsoft, you can actually go in and screenshot using Windows Shift S. And that's a special way for us to take a screenshot of a certain area of our desktop. Onto Whiteboard, put it side by side between two documents and talk about it. If this was an interview, you could actually talk through your resume in such a manner, and it'll be a differentiator compared to all the other people having meetings. And this will make it very interesting to your interviewer, because it's probably going to be the first time someone's doing this live with them. As long as you're familiar with this, you're going to be really good. As you can see, it's also a great way to collaborate with someone on fixing up documents and PowerPoints and PDFs. So you can use this to collaborate, and the good thing about, you see the little face icons and the blue icon on the top, you can actually invite others to see this in real time, and they can mark this up with you while you're both looking at the same document. All you have to do is click the plus and send this as an email link to someone, and they can join you through a web interface or through this Whiteboard application if they have it installed. In other words, if they don't have Whiteboard, you could actually open this in a browser and draw and work with you on this as well. Last tip is you can actually rename it with the little pencil icon and give it whatever name, and you can put a date onto it so you remember exactly what this was about. So some of you might be asking where you get your icons from, and I'm going to show you. All you have to do is go to Google and type in Amazon icons for PowerPoint, and the first link comes up, says AWS architecture icons. You can see the link over here, and once you click on it, you can download this toolkit which opens up in PowerPoint where you could copy and paste any of these icons over. One more bonus tip is if you ever hit the Windows and period, you're going to get a very cool feature where if you're used to texting with emojis, this allows you to bring up an emoji menu. Not a lot of people know this, but on Windows 10, I'm not sure about the other Windows, you can actually bring this up anytime and insert cool little graphics like this in your discussions.
Okay folks, that was a quick walkthrough of Whiteboard. I hope it's something you could apply in your day-to-day activities when you're either meeting with clients, meeting with customers, or having team meetings, going through interviews. It's been a game changer for me. All the Zoom meetings and WebExes and all that stuff that we've been having are getting boring and stale, and people find that they're just talking to a computer and that passion is not there anymore. This actually gets the involvement back in. And the funny thing is, if you've ever watched someone draw or paint, you could sit there and watch for hours. So by having this whiteboard exercise, it actually trains your brain to go back in there and pay more attention. So it's awesome, and it'll actually differentiate you compared to other people doing regular Zoom meetings. It'll put you above and beyond what they're capable of doing. Good luck out there, stay safe, I'll see you soon.